Hi dear students, this presentation is from the third module of the subject Advanced Energy Engineering. In the last presentation we have discussed about basic working of the wind turbines and we have seen different classifications of the wind turbine also. Now in this presentation we will be concentrating on wind data and how the energy is produced from the wind energy. That is what is our topic in this presentation. So wind turbines requires location with constantly high wind speed. Usually the wind speed range at least 3 to 4 meter per second wind speed is required for the installation of the wind turbines. So usually the wind turbines are located in these particular places only. Wind power density of a location decides whether wind power extraction is possible or not. So first we will calculate the wind power density. Actually wind power density is the it's a calculation related to effective force of wind at a location and its frequency expressed in terms of elevation above the ground level over a period of time. So that is what is known as the wind power density, or simply it is the wind power per unit area. See, the blades are facing the wind and all. So wind will be usually striking at a particular area. Usually it will be pi by 4 d square, where d is the diameter of the wind blades. So that means circular area wind will be striking over the blades. So power generated by the windmill divided by that area, that term is usually known as the wind power density. So initially we will calculate the wind power density based on the velocity of the wind available at that particular location, and we will find out whether installation of the wind turbine is possible or not. If the wind velocity is very less, then we will not install wind turbines at that place and all. The minimum wind speed required is 3 to 4 meter per second. Usually average it should be around 10 meter per second. Okay, that is the optimum or feasible one. It is wind velocity and mass are taken into consideration and the color code maps are prepared. See, we are having various government authorities or to calculate all these things. So they will be considering the wind velocity available at a particular place and how much is the mass flow rate of the wind at that place also is calculated. Based on that they will prepare the wind power density, and some graphs are being prepared with color codes that is being prepared by the authorized authorities. So that data is being utilized uh, by the wind farm, those who are installing the wind farms. Meteorological departments means the department which is dealing with the measurement is called meteorological department. So usually the meteorological department collects data continuously about wind from many airports and data from anemometers. Anemometer is an instrument used to calculate the wind velocity located at a height of 10 meter in order to follow the world standard. So some standards are there. So based on that standard, meteorological department will be calculating the wind, analyzing the wind data. They will be continuously recording the wind data wherever it is available. Most of the cases they will be implementing this in the airports and all. So based on the data available from the meteorological department, the wind farm erection is happening. Okay, so or in other ways, common people will be utilizing this meteorological department data for their feasibility purposes. They will check with that data and they will come to a conclusion whether it is possible or not. For the measurement of wind speed, the basic sensors used are anemometers. I have already told the wind speed is calculated by the instrument called the anemometers, and for measurement of the direction of the wind vanes are used. You might have seen this structure in most of the government buildings and all. Some of the engineering over the top of the engineering colleges also these structures are erected. You might have seen it. Anyway, it is having two structures. One is cup shaped anemometer, and above that anemometer will have a arrow indicating the wind direction. Okay, so ഒരു നിങ്ങൾ കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ടാവും ഒരു മൂന്ന് കപ്പൊക്കെ ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു സെമി ഹെമിസ്ഫിയർ പോലെയുള്ള കപ്പ് ഉണ്ടാവും. അപ്പോൾ കണ്ടിന്യൂസ് ആയിരിക്കും റൊട്ടേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അതിൻ്റെ മുകളിലൊരു ആരോ ഷേപ്പിലുള്ളൊരു പോയിൻ്റർ ഉണ്ടാവും. അപ്പോൾ ആ പോയിൻ്ററിനാണ് എന്ത് പറയുന്നത് വിൻഡ് വെയിൻസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. ആ റൊട്ടേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്ന കപ്പ് ഷേപ്പിലുള്ള അതിനാണ് എന്ത് പറയുന്നത് അനിമോമീറ്റർ. അപ്പം സോ ഹൗ ഇറ്റ് വർക്ക്സ് ഈസ് ബേസ്ഡ് ഓൺ ദ റൊട്ടേഷൻ ഓഫ് ദി anemometer. The wind speed is calculated. That rotary motion is converted into the velocity. Okay, that is what is being done in the anemometer. So if any frictional effect and all is there in the bearings of the anemometers, that can badly affect the wind speed measurement. So it is very difficult to accurately measure the wind speed. Okay, the most commonly used anemometer is rotating cup anemometer. I have already told this one is called the most commonly used one is rotating cup anemometer. 3 cups will be there, that will be continuously rotating once the wind is coming in contact with this one. Okay, so always that arrow located on top of the dynamometer shows the direction of the wind. In this type, the vertical shaft supports a cup assembly, so that a vertical shaft will be there. Over that shaft only this anemometer is connected. So based on the rotation of the anemometer, it is calibrated to the velocity of the wind. That is what is happening. So this much RPM, this much is the RPM, then correspondingly we can calculate the velocity. Some conversion equations will be there. The unit is completely calibrated. So if we get the RPM, then we can directly get the velocity as a display, and it is connected to the computer. So continuously it is monitored and it is being recorded. That data is publicly available from the government departments. So whoever is wishing, they can collect the data nearby, available from the nearby government authorities. They will be getting the data and they can conduct the feasibility study. Now coming to the performance, wind power and wind power density. The calculation of the power of the wind energy is based on the kinetic energy of the moving air molecules. We know that the velocity of the wind is, or kinetic energy of the wind is imparted to the blades of the or rotor of the wind turbine, which in turn is converting mechanical, which in turn is generating the mechanical energy that is being converted to electrical energy in the generator. That is what is happening in a wind turbine. So anyway, the kinetic energy of the wind is utilized for the power production. So the power wind power is basically based on the kinetic energy of the wind only. Kinetic energy means half mv square, so it is directly depending on the velocity of the wind. So wind power, that is what I mean by the power of the wind. Actually I am talking about wind power. Wind power equal to kinetic energy of the wind. So kinetic energy expression, we know that is half mv square. So v1 is the incoming velocity of the wind, then it is m v1 square by 2, where m is the mass flow rate of the air in kilogram per second. Now we know that mass flow rate is calculated by rho into area into velocity. So mass flow rate m dot equal to rho a v1, where rho is the density of the air. It is usually around 1.22 kilogram per meter cube in the sea level. So based on the altitude, we can have that density of air. Variation will be, slight variation will be there, that we can obtain from the standard charts. So area is the, A is the, where rho is the density of the air, A is the rotor swept area exposed to the wind. See how much area is exposed by the rotor to the wind. That area is known as the, that is what is known as capital A, area. A is the rotor swept area. So that will be a circular area. Usually if the wind is blowing horizontally and the vanes are perpendicular to the wind direction, as in the case of horizontal type turbines, then what happens is the area exposed to the wind will be a circular area. We can calculate as pi by 4 d square, where d is the diameter of the rotor. But if the speed of the winds are very high, usually the wind rotor is kept at a particular inclination in order to reduce the effect of the wind. So in that case, the area will not be equal to pi by 4 d square. Slight variation will be there. That angle tilted also is to be considered. So anyway, that A is the area swept by the air, rotor swept area exposed to the wind in meter square. Now substituting for the mass flow rate in the equation for wind power, we will get wind power Pw equal to rho a v1 cube by 2. Instead of mass, I am substituting rho a v1. So rho a v1 into v1 square, that is rho a v1 cube by 2. That much power is there with the wind. So wind is having this much power. So this power is actually given to the rotor, but complete conversion is not possible, since it is a rotating part, and once the rotor is rotating, the mechanical energy is created at the shaft of the hub. That shaft is in turn connected to the gear mechanisms, and also we will have some other mechanism. Generator is also there. So all the efficiency, in between efficiency, transmission efficiency, everything is to be calculated. So the complete wind power will not be available as the power output of the wind turbine. So there will be a reduction in the power output from the wind turbine. So wind power, or the power of the wind, will be much higher compared to the power output from the wind turbine. So wind turbine will not be able to convert this entire wind energy into power. In between, transmissions efficiencies are also, hence the wind turbine power. This is the actual power output from the wind turbine, that is wind turbine power. The earlier one was wind power is power associated with the wind, and wind turbine power is the power output that we are getting from the wind turbine. So wind turbine power output is given by the equation Cp into efficiency eta B into eta G into rho a v1 cube by 2. See, this rho a v1 cube by 2 is nothing but the wind power, and this much transmission efficiency. See, eta B is the efficiency of the bearing bar gears, and eta G is the efficiency generator efficiency. These two are the efficiencies. First one, eta B is the bearing bar gear mechanism, the transmission gears will be there, that efficiency, and eta G is the generator efficiency, and Cp is the important term, that is what is known as Cp is the coefficient of performance. Usually its value is 0.59, is the maximum theoretical possible value is 0.59, and usually 0.35 for a good design. That is the value of the Cp coefficient of performance that we will discuss in the upcoming slide. What is Cp we will discuss. Okay. Anyway, eta G is the generator efficiency, usually 50% for car alternators and 80% possibly more for a permanent magnetic generator or grid connector induction generator. So these are the two efficiencies if we are using that we will usually take for calculation purpose. Eta B is the bearing bar gearbox efficiency, could be as high as 95% if it is good. Now coming to the wind power density, I have already told wind power density is nothing but power generated by the wind turbine per unit area. Area means that area is nothing but the area exposed by the rotor to the wind. That is what is that area. So P by A, that ratio is known as the wind power density. So if this equation, that is wind turbine power equation, is divided by A, this A and A will cancel, so the remaining will be Cp eta B into eta G rho V1 cube by 2. That is the final expression of wind power density. So usually this data for a particular place will be available with the government authorities and all. So with this wind power density we can calculate whether a wind turbine is erection is feasible at a particular place or not, that we will calculate. Now coming to the terms related to the wind turbine, usually some technical terms will be there in the field of wind turbine that we will see in this presentation. That is, first one is tip speed ratio. It is the ratio of the rotation speed of the blade to the wind speed. See, the wind will be having the higher speed, whereas the complete speed conversion will not be there, or that speed of the wind will not be completely transferred to the rotor blades. So of course the rotor blade will have a lesser speed, so that ratio of the rotation speed of the blade to the wind speed is known as tip speed ratio. The larger this, if this ratio is larger, that means the faster the rotation of the wind turbine rotor at a given wind speed. Lift type wind turbines have a maximum tip speed ratio of around 10, and and while the drag type ratios are approximately 1. See, now you will be having some confusion. See, in the case of lift type, the ratio is coming around 10. That means the rotor speed is much higher than that of the blades wind speed. This is I have already explained with the aerodynamic theory. The lift produced will be much higher, around 30% higher lift force can be produced by the pressure difference. So in the case of aerodynamic shape wind turbines, that or the wind turbines working with aerodynamic principle, the lift force is the reason for the rotation of the blades. In that case, much pressure is converted, pressure difference will be there, that pressure difference is converted into velocity, so extra velocity is imparted to the blades. So of course the rotor blade velocity will be higher than that of the wind speed velocity. With a low wind speed we will be able to produce high rotor blade velocities. That's why the ratio is around 10. But in the case of the drag force, the wind is just pushing the blades, and only the force exerted by the wind is utilized for the rotation. So of maximum possible is ratio will be tip speed ratio will be 1, or of course usually the tip speed ratio in the case of drag type wind turbines will be less than 1 also. Okay. Now coming to the next term, that is coefficient of performance. Coefficient of performance is defined as the, I have already came across this term here. See this here, Cp is the coefficient of performance, and I have told you its maximum value is 0.59, and it is defined here. It is defined as the ratio of the power delivered by the rotor to the maximum power available in the wind. See, I have already told that the power output from the wind turbine is much lesser compared to the power available with the wind. So that ratio is usually known as the coefficient of performance. The ratio of the power output from the wind turbine to the power available with the wind is known as the coefficient of performance, and its maximum value for a horizontal axis turbine is 0.5. Actually this value 0.59 is a derivation. I don't know whether it is there in your syllabus or not. That's why I am not taking it. If time permits, I will take one more class to explain the derivation. Okay, so there is a derivation to calculate the maximum power. Okay, So in that calculation we are getting the coefficient of performance maximum value as 0.59. Now coming to the other terms, cut in wind speed. It is the wind speed when the machine begins to produce the power. So usually at low speeds the machines will not start. Once the wind velocity reaches an optimum value, I have already told 3 to 4 meter per second is the minimum value minimum velocity required. At that speed only wind turbine will start. So it is the wind speed when the reaches the begins to produce the power, typically between 3 to 4 meter per second, that is 10 to 14 kilometer per hour. That is the cut in wind speed. Okay. Now next one is design wind speed. It is the wind speed when the wind turbine reaches its maximum efficiency. So at this for a maximum efficiency, the requirement for a particular wind speed will be there based on the calculations of the wind turbine. So that speed corresponding to the maximum efficiency of the wind turbine is known as the design wind speed, and rated wind speed is similar to design wind speed, but only difference is here the wind speed corresponding to maximum output power of the wind turbine is known as the rated wind speed. It is also known as nameplate capacity, typically about 15 meter per second is the rated wind speed. Now next one is cutout wind speed. Maximum safe working wind speed is usually known as cutout wind speed. See ചില സമയങ്ങളിൽ വിൻഡിൻ്റെ സ്പീഡ് വളരെ കൂടിക്കഴിയുമ്പോൾ എന്ത് സംഭവിക്കും, അൺഈവൻ റൊട്ടേഷൻസ് ഉണ്ടായിട്ട് ക്രാഷ് ആയാലുള്ളൊരു പോസിബിലിറ്റീസ് ഉണ്ട്. സോ ഇൻ ഓർഡർ ടു അവോയ്ഡ് ദാറ്റ് ക്രാഷിംഗ് ആൻഡ് ഓൾ വിത്ത് എ വെരി ഹൈ വിൻഡ് വെലോസിറ്റീസ്, so braking system is provided with the wind turbines, and when speed exceeds a particular limits, usually the brakes are applied and the system will be shut down. That is what that maximum speed at which calculated speed at which the wind turbine can operate is known as the cutout wind speed, maximum safe working wind speed. That is what is known as cutout wind speed. Now coming to the next important, that is capacity factor. Due to the variation in the wind speed, annual energy production is not same as the energy calculated by multiplying generator rating with total number of hours in a year. This ratio is called the capacity factor and its value is 20 to 40%. We can calculate the total energy production that can be obtained from a particular wind turbine. See, the wind turbine is having a particular energy rating, that is this much kilowatt per hour or this much kilowatt. Okay, that one is enough. This is to produce this much kilowatt per hour, 3 kilowatt per hour, say, for an example. Now if you multiply the total hours in a year, then you can calculate the total energy that will be maximum energy that will be produced by that wind turbine in a year. That we can easily calculate. Rated workout energy output from the wind turbine is given as the specification. Multiply that with the total hour in a year. That will give the total maximum energy that we are expecting from that wind turbine. But we know that usually the wind speeds are varying, so all the time we won't get the same wind speed. So of course the actual production of the power from the wind turbine will be much lesser compared to this that we have calculated based on the rated energy output. So the ratio of these two is known as the capacity factor. Due to the variation in wind speed, annual energy production, actual energy production is much less compared to the energy that we are obtained from the calculation based on the rated energy output of the wind turbine. So that ratio is known as the capacity factor. This ratio is called capacity factor and its value is usually from 20 to 40%. Okay, that's all about for today. In the next presentation we will be discussing about solar wind hybrid energy system, and also if possible we will be discussing the economics of the wind turbines. Okay, thank you.